All right, everybody, it's been a while. Got a individual movie fresh takes going. I got my buddy Jake up here. This is his suggestion, so I'm gonna kind of just give him the reins. He's gonna go on from here.
All right, so the movie we're talking about today is Wolf Children, Mamoru Hosoda's 2012 fantasy drama about a young woman named Hannah who conceives two children with a wolf man. And when the wolf man is no longer in the picture, she is up to her own devices, like constantly bending over backwards to make sure that her two children are healthy and happy. It's about all the sacrifices that a mother has to go through, which are amplified when you have two children who can turn into wolves at will. And it's about her two children, Ame and Yuki, learning to find their own paths in life and figuring out which paths that they would prefer to be, humans or wolves. So, Brock, I will turn to you. What did you think of it?
Um, I liked it quite a bit. I like seeing movies that I didn't. It shocked me in many ways, but I will say I'll start with that. I really like showings of strong mothers. People that don't know me, I was raised by a single mom. They're, my parents got divorced. God, I want to say when I was in second or third grade. That happened real fast, and then she had sole custody of me after something my dad did when I was in sixth grade. So I lived with my mom for a good chunk of my life, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. But she got buried in a mountain of debt and a lot of other things she had to work her way out of with raising three kids, just consistently having everything going against her, and then just getting out of it and leading a good life because she just had to. So it Hana's instantly one of my favorite anime moms that I've seen. I can instantly say that coming off of this. I liked her showing her having honest problems that a parent would just have. They didn't go down the route that I thought this might have by her kids being part wolf, and I'm happy that they did because they showed it as an actual analog for choosing what you want to be growing up and hit that more strongly. And it didn't turn into she has to hide her family the entire time and they're being hunted down by people because they found out they were wolves, which I'm very happy they didn't go in that direction.
Me too.
Yeah. It's been no secret. I've told people for a long time that I want to have kids, and I really desperately at some point want to have a baby girl. So Yuki and Ame was great in this too, but I got the biggest kick out of Yuki throughout the entire film.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I like the community aspect to it of everyone helping her out. That was really great. Old man, what was his name? Nakasaki? Narazaki.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was really great. Just the old curmudgeon chewing her out in the most kind way humanly possible.
Yes, though his bark is worse than his bite.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very basic and honest. It didn't go out of its way to do, and I don't mean this as an insult. It didn't go out of its way to do anything out of the ordinary. And that's talking about a movie that has a woman have children with a wolf man. They were just very honest about life choices.
Right.
And I very much like that they just stuck to this isn't going to be, like I said, some big thing about whatever. It was just about people's lives and how they choose to live them.
Yeah, like there's no part where Ama and Yuki are found out, like are put in a zoo or whatever, or like
Yeah.
about to be sold to a lab and she has to break them up out or something.
Yeah, exactly.
One question I have is compared because last year you and I did fresh takes on Belle, and compared to Belle, how would you rank Wolf Children?
Oh boy. Oh, it's hard to rank that because in a way they're very similar movies, and in another way they're very 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 different movies. I would have to rewatch Belle again. I think I liked Belle a little bit more, but that's not saying it's like only a few points below this. Like, if I think it might watch Belle again, it would be close. I'm not entirely sure. There was just some elements of Belle that rung true with me I don't need to get into that, but I'll let you guys realize that I'm a child of divorce, and you can take it from there. Um, and it just, they were both very good. These are both very good picks.
Yeah. And like he also directed the Digimon movie, which you found out.
Yes. Hey, I know, slight tangent. I don't know if you'd agree with me, but you're a movie buff, and I had this thought the other day, and I posted on Facebook, and it's a hill I'm willing to die on. That Digimon movie has one of the best soundtracks in movie history.
I will have to listen to that.
It has the impression that I get by now the band's escaping me. It's got All Star.
Yeah, 2 years before Shrek.
Yeah, that freaking soundtrack was off the charts. But I'm blanking because I'm very bad at remembering stuff on the spot. People who watch me streaming can know it. But that is like 6 to 7 current just bangers that go off the wall. That movie soundtrack is ridiculous. I will die on that hill that it's amazing. But the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones was the impression that I get. That's what I was trying to think of. But yeah,
Right.
just small tangent. That movie's soundtrack is phenomenal.
Well, I guess this is going to be our pattern now, where every April you and I talk about the Soda movie.
Hey man, if you want to do a fresh takes on the Digimon movie, I wouldn't be against it.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. So anyway, back to Wolf Children. I think this movie is another example also of Hosoda's like directing style, like how he directed an animated film, because I gotta be honest with you, the restraint he shows in directing is the kind of restraint I would usually see in a slice of life live action drama. Like he comes up with really creative ways. Like I love this shot where like it's conveying like Ame and Yuki growing up in school, and it's just like this one like tracking shot, and like from classroom to classroom, and
The grades going up.
yeah, yeah, the grade it's going up. Like we see them.
Yep.
Like it pans over just to show that okay, now Ame's in this classroom and now Yuki's in this, and it ends with Ame not even being in school anymore.
Yeah, that was a really good touch.
Yeah, and like just like even sometimes like he would have like shot like close-ups of like objects while people are talking. There's just something about that detail that feels distinctly live action to me.
It does, and like there was certain. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering exactly what the shot is. There was a certain shot of like a hallway that had a glass on a table and just windows in the background that it looked like it was live action. It was scarily well animated at certain points.
Like was it like a hallway at the school or?
It could have been. It was during rain as well, but not in the later parts. In the earlier part of the movie, it was scarily well animated to the point of where.
Or was it like when Ame was like at the farmer's market or something? Like
maybe. I just have that shot in my head.
Anna, I should say, was at the farmer's market.
It very well possibly could be.
So, yeah, I think also people compare like the opening to this movie to like the opening to Up. Actually, I've heard people honestly say kind of like, but this is like heartbreaking. The opening, it's pretty freaking heartbreaking, man.
It is heartbreaking and it's unexpected. You go through a lot in the beginning of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot less subtle than Up is.
Yeah.
Because you don't just have him finding his wife dead in a ditch because they're written her out. But no, I could kind of get that comparison.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad I rewatched this movie in preparation for this fresh takes because I know the detail, like when they're moving in, like when Hannah and the Wolfman are moving to the new apartment, and the neighbor lady's dogs bark at him, and she's like, "Hey, leave that man alone."
Yeah, that was a good touch.
Yeah. I also again going back to like the subtlety of it when she discovers his body like in the river, and like he's put into a trash bag and put into a trash compactor, and then it's like shot far away. There's no music. It's just like the rain, and like it's just distant. Like watching like a scene like that from a distance, it's just that's somehow more effective than it was just like in close up or whatever. Like
Mhm.
some, and it's especially sad because like like honestly, Hana is extremely devastated, and she's like breaking down and crying, and like no one around her has any idea what she's so upset about. Like they're
And she
to
can't
her
say why.
to them it's like it's a wolf. I mean, it's not like it was their pet or anything, but even like there was like even as she was on the ground crying, like that guy like sort of like held an umbrella for her. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what you're upset about, lady, but hey,
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, when you get I appreciate when they do shots like that because it's more effective than you up close showing crime because they're making you just sit there and live in that moment and see all of it.
yeah,
Her reactions, the people going away, other people figuring out, and it's like you're wanting to get out of it, but they're like, no, we're gonna literally make you sit here and watch this. We want you to feel as uncomfortable as possible as you're taking in the fact that people are just walking on as nothing's wrong. People are doing their job while this woman's lover is being thrown in a garbage truck, and this woman wants to say what's wrong, but she just can't.
right.
And oh,
Exactly. And all the only photo she has of him is like of his
driver's license.
Yeah.
That is just and like the cutest thing ever. These children have no they were not old enough to have a memory of what the dad even was like.
Mm-hmm.
And Yuki when she's running out and like waving bye to the driver's license
Yeah.
and saying bye dad, stuff
Yeah.
like that is just great.
Yeah. Of course, that's like a Japanese custom. I'm pretty sure. Like, I just see a loved one, like they have a photo of them and like a flower nearby, and they like pray to it and something. Like they talk to it as if they're actually talking to the person.
Mhm.
Um. Um. Was it like it was like a little bit uncomfortable, like after she finds out that he's a wolf, and they kind of they uh they do it like that night afterwards.
I wasn't expecting him to be in wolf form when it happened.
Yeah,
That how full he had been. I was like, okay, I don't know if I need this part.
yeah, because there's no subtext here; it's just text.
But like what they're trying to say in that moment is that she doesn't care. And that moment wouldn't have been as effective if he was in human form because this is showing that she wants to be with him no matter what he looks like.
Even though this is just bestiality, what she's doing, like,
it is,
or
but
she just realized that she's a furry.
It's meaning to show she cares about him no matter what and accepting the real him. I will say the joke that a lot of people like say in situations like this, like with Beauty and the Beast, everybody always makes the joke. So do you think that Belle was sad when he turned back into a human? Because then he wouldn't quite have the junk that he would have when he was Beast.
Yeah. And we were just talking about like all the struggles like Hannah has to go through, like having like to like move into like a dilapidated shack in the middle of nowhere just to like make sure her kids aren't seen, like to give them as much area like to run in and be wolves as they want to.
Yeah, she puts the work in though.
Yeah, and like toiling away in the hot sun, like putting up like with an old man barking at her.
That again, that was a kind of a thing where I didn't realize this because when you're younger, your perception of time is screwed up. When my mom divorced my dad, again, she got heaped with a mountain of debt. Just it was not a good situation she got left in because of my dad. And we moved from a house maybe 2 blocks about where I live now, then to a house that was like bordering where my dad lived, then living into the spare room in my aunt's house for the weekend before we moved into the place that I lived my entire like going into adulthood in and then ended up buying, which is this house here. And I didn't realize that we were in all 3 of those locations previous to here for less than a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And my mom did all of that while working her ass off, moving all of us to all these places by herself. 3 kids who are my sister is 3 years older than me, and my other sister's 5 years older. At one point, one of us was going to elementary school, one of us was going to middle school, and one of us was going to high school. Just like doing whatever she needed to make sure us kids were okay. Was a nurse that worked an hour away, drove an hour back both ways. Just seeing Hana doing this, I'm like, this is what a mom that cares does.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like that was a sad part when like CPS comes and like they try to burst into the door, and like she's holding the door, like she's shoving them out as much as she can.
And it sucks, but it's CPS coming by for a genuine reason.
Right. Because as I said, she never like went to the doctor or had them vaccinated or anything.
No. And her having them at her own house and never going to a doctor makes it look even more sketch.
Yeah. Like she doesn't know whether to take them to the pediatric or a vet.
Yeah, that was something. I was like, that's, oh boy.
Oh, and also she gave birth like in her apartment with no nurse,
no pain meds.
That's
commitment.
That alone shows Ellen as a mother. Yeah,
that's insane.
And so, like, was there like what scenes in particular jumped out at you? Like was it like the snow scene?
The snow scene's definitely up there. The scene with not Shino, that's the girl. What's the boy that very clearly had a crush on her from the start? It starts with a Y. I want to say it does. The kid whose ear she claws off.
Sohei.
Or there is Sohei. That scene where she finally has her first like breakdown and goes wolf for when she was at school.
Yeah.
The very first like the scene where she's going after Ame and like just is more concerned with all that running into the wilderness, knowing full well she has no freaking idea where she is, just trying to find her son. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Yuki and Sohei at the school when they finally has the moment where she confesses to him about being a wolf and that he knew and just didn't care. That was really good. And like just the gentle of her just being okay living at home, and she hears Ame howling in the background, and then you hear Yuki saying then she was content because she knew that one of her kids was always there watching over her.
Right.
I will say, I thought it was pretty funny how she can't admit they're like, yeah, yours was the only crops that didn't get bothered with this year. We can't quite figure that out. That Lord freaking Yuki going over, yeah, and then a wild boar came by and then I chased it down and I peed all over it to show it was our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of just great, you don't get moments like that.
Did you notice, very interesting is, during the snow scene where Ame almost drowns trying to catch that bird. The thing is, remember, Ame is Japanese for rain and Yuki is Japanese for snow. And Ame realizes that he wants to be brave during the snow, and Yuki figures out she wants to be a human during the rain.
Yep.
So
that was a very good touch.
It's very yin yang.
Yeah, and they kind of won, and then they wanted it to be the opposite way when they were younger, where Ame clearly didn't want to be a wolf and Yuki did.
Yeah, Ame was just like the meek one, and Yuki was like the spitfire.
Yes. That kept a treasure trove of dead lizard skeletons.
Yeah. Yeah, those kids were really cute.
Yeah, they were. They did a really good job. Japan always does a very good job of making the most adorable children ever.
Yeah, I've seen clips from Anna, or Anya and Spy.
Oh yeah, Anya's fantastic.
Yeah. She says
My family's great.
she says please at the end of like every random sentence.
Yeah, there's a great scene. There's a great scene where they're at it's at an art museum, and then she's like, his head choppy because he's just got just on a thing, and there's just a chop with a sort of a decapitated body.
Yeah.
It's great. You would love Spy Family.
I'm
You
pretty
would love
sure I
it.
would.
Spy Family's fantastic. You would love Spy Family. I actually got because of GalaxyCon during COVID, I got the voice actors for Anya.
Oh.
I got her autograph. That was pretty great.
Oh. I've always been Daddy's daughter.
Yes.
Speaking of voice actors, can you give some credit to Colleen Clinkenbeard?
Colleen does amazing in this.
This
is one of my favorite things she's done.
Yeah, she's got rank because she plays Luffy in One Piece.
Yep.
So this obviously a 180 role.
Oh yeah, she did great.
Yeah.
Colleen's a consummate professional, so I knew we were gonna get something good.
I mean, the part where she thinks Ame's dead, I mean, that's like Oscar caliber acting right there.
Oh yeah. I know I've had this discussion with Mike many times, and I probably had it on a podcast with you at some point, but I normally agree with John Campy on a lot of things, but one thing that I would slap the lips clean off of him, he said it to me in person, is that he thinks that voice acting isn't real acting, which sentiment I could not disagree with more. I just can't.
Didn't he also say that shelving Batgirl was a good idea?
I don't remember.
I think he did, actually, because he said it was like true leadership or whatever.
Yeah, he likes to backtrack on sometimes some stuff, though, because he said other things of that nature where he said it should have been shown, and But yeah, anyway. Yeah, that she did great, and then when she's screaming for Anne in the woods, she's really good.
Mm-hmm.
She is on one of my bucket lists for voice actresses that I still want to meet. And I'll hope to God she has a Hane print at the table when I meet her.
A what?
I'll hope to God that she has a Hane print when I meet her.
Oh, Hane print. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. But she's in the she's in the top 5 of anime moms for me. She's way up there.
So now, like, are there any like? Have you haven't gone like? I know you haven't watched any other Hosoda movies, but are there any ones that you've heard like the premise of? Or like, okay, I gotta check that out.
Other than the ones we've watched?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm not one of those people that are always like, I know the director, kind of, especially with animated films.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of like Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki, I don't exactly know like the famed directors. But how do you spell his name again?
Hosoda.
Let's see here. Well,
he almost directed Howl's Moving Castle, by the way.
Oh, then I love Howl's Moving Castle. Absolutely love Howl's Moving Castle. That's my favorite of the Ghibli movies. Girl Who Left the Time, Summer Wars. Oh, there's one that I have heard of. What the? Okay, hold on. Mirai,
the one that was nominated for an Oscar.
Yes, I've heard of that. Yes. I believe Rebecca. We're gonna try that again in English. I believe Rebecca Hall plays the mom in that.
Yeah. And John Cho's the dad.
Yeah, I have heard of that, and that one does sound interesting. Yes, that one does sound interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's when his directing really shows.
Nice.
And also Summer Wars, which is like basically like his follow-up to Digimon the movie, and also the precursor to Bell. Because Summer Wars, it takes place like in this giant app like this giant social media app everyone uses, and also there
Yeah.
are flying whales in it.
Yeah, it makes sense that would come before Bell. There's a lot of that in there.
Yeah.
Huh.
He also directed One Piece, Baron Omotsuri, and The Secret Island.
I'd have to ask my friend Chris about that. The guy is caught up on One Piece and the manga and might start watching anime. Like, I give you a lot of credit because I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
He also, have you ever heard of Ashita no Naja?
I have not.
Oh, he directed, I guess, a couple episodes from that. Yeah,
No, not China.
it's about like this little orphan, like it's a like a 20th century, early 20th century orphan looking for her mom or something.
That makes a lot of sense that he would direct something like that, considering the few films that I've seen from him.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, no, this was very, very good. I honestly had no idea what to expect when I saw the title. I didn't even know they were actually going to be honest to God wolf children. I just thought that might have been just a descriptor. And like I said, it didn't go down the route that I thought the stereotypical movie like this would go. So I'm very happy that they didn't do that. Yeah, it was very good. It'll definitely be one that I recommend to people.
and me as well. This was my first Hosoda movie, and I'm glad I chose wisely.
Have you never seen the Digimon movie?
I haven't. I just wasn't into Digimon as a kid.
Oh, that's when you can watch without even knowing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's official. That's our next fresh taste.
Yeah. Oh God, I never thought I'd get to do that. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Fair enough. Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll have to schedule that then.
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely do a fresh takes on the freaking Digimon movie.
Okay.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah. You got any last thoughts you want to give in on this?
Wolf Children is a great first film for anyone who wants to get Mamoru Hosoda's work. It's right up there with the best of Miyazaki, in my opinion. It is a true masterpiece that I would recommend to even non-anime fans.
Oh yeah.
It's a mature, deep, emotional, beautifully animated. Just I chose the right movie to do a fresh takes right after I moved out of my parents for the first time.
There
After
you go.
college.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, I definitely recommend it. That's why I chose this one for Brock to check out.
Yeah, that's a good one. You've gotten me 3 good ones so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good. I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
It was weird for me that I want to say the second to last full anime that I got off my binge list was a anime called Sirius the Jaeger, and it involves a guy named Yuli, who is from the Sirius clan of wolf people and has blue hair, and the voice actor sounds identical to an older version of Ame and looks strikingly similar. So that was weird.
I have. How is when he's an older kid and he's 10, he does not sound like a 10-year-old at all.
He doesn't, but that was one of those things where I'm like, it's a wolf kid. I don't understand how that puberty works, so I'm not going to question it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also weirdly kind of a Japanese thing. A lot of times, and obviously this is the English version of the voice, there's a weird thing in Japanese to where they almost on purpose don't voice things like they should sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of my favorite characters of all time is couldn't tell you which way they're going, but it is a transgender mechanic named Liron in Gurren Lagann. It's voiced by Steve Bloom, and Steve Bloom's voice for this character sounds exactly how I would expect this character to sound. But in Japanese, this is a guy who wears a pullover vest, long sleeve shirt, long sleeve purple pants, and then high heels, and has earrings and short-cut blue hair. You can very easily tell that it is a trans individual.
So, like, male to female or female to male?
Couldn't tell you. The voice sounds more male, so I would assume it's male to female, but He honestly could go either way. At that point, they don't have transit. It's very much in a setting where the equipment to do the transformation isn't there, so they're just the person who's kind of halfway normally kind of thing. It's weird.
Right.
But in Japanese, they have a voice that would make you think that they were a lower gruff voiced like WWE wrestler.
Hmm.
It's one of those weird things where an effeminate kind of character gets a super deep voice, and Japan just likes to do that. And they'll do that sometimes too with younger characters, make them sound very adult when they're clearly not. And I don't get why they do it sometimes. It's just kind of a thing they do. So sometimes it's like, maybe they're just taking voice cues from that, but it didn't bug me.
Tokyo Godfathers has a trans character, a trans woman, and in the English dub over here, she actually is voiced by a trans woman.
That's cool. There was a oh shoot, now I'm not gonna think of his name. The oh boy, the new Evangelion Netflix cast. What's his name? Or their name? I believe it is a gender fluid male character, voices Shinji. And Shinji has always been kind of a weird one in the first place, so it was kind of different that they got that. But yeah, he did the role very well. I can't think of his name. He also does a character named Imperio in Part 6 of JoJo. But yeah, no, voice act is good all the way around. Plot, like I said, was great. Packed a lot into a 2-hour movie. I was thoroughly enjoyed. It.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ain't got anything else, we'll get on out of here. Jacob, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Joe Krehbiel, Krehbiel.
And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. I haven't been on my Twitch for as much as I normally could, even though I said that this year I want to get to a more regular streaming schedule. A lot of just personal weird crap going on where I haven't been in a good head state and just getting out of bad habits to get myself into a better mind state. So I will be back to streaming soon. I'm actually working on a new overlay for when I get back into streaming. So yeah, as soon as it's all done, I'm just going to hard get back into it. It will be back soon. I'm working on more stuff to get more stuff on the channel. The podcast is still going. Stuff is coming, I promise. But until next time, we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.